We put a program together a couple years ago that is designed to do this. And follow me, folks that are here, because you're all paying taxes. We judge the capacity of a school district to support itself vis-a-vis how much state aid we get based on, under this bill, two different issues. One, what's your property value? That's a pretty good measure of a person's wealth. But we also understand that a person's wealth can't only be defined by property. So no, we are in a new and aggressive way bringing your income into our calculation. It's been used in and out, but fundamentally never been used, in my judgment, all that effectively. And here's what we are saying. It is time our formula is actually carried out on the basis of the philosophy of our formula. If you have a greater capacity in your school district based on that measurement of income and property taxes, then we think the state should be doing less for you than if you are a district that has a low number, a smaller number of property value and income. There's where the state has to do more because of capacity. Now, you're going to have to look at all these charts and all these numbers, and I can tell you everybody be up in arms, blah, blah, blah. But the situation on this is real simple. School districts across the state have $5 billion in reserves right now, which I don't know anybody ever knew till it was printed in the paper here the other day. Secondly, it stands to reason, even though we are now increasing K-12 funding by another $700 million, that means over that biennium and this, we will have increased K-12 funding to the highest level it's ever been by $1.7 billion. We believe that that money ought to be distributed on the basis of capacity. So we don't want to take from a district that can do more to help itself to take from a district that can't do as much to help itself. Now, some of these things are relative to one another. In other words, you could live in a county and you say, well, we're not very rich, but everybody around you's gone down. That then means you can do more. But the fundamental principle here is, if you have the capacity to raise revenue yourself, where you get to keep 100% of it, then that means that the state can do a little less. So for those districts that do not have this capacity, the state can do more. I can't think of a better formula that we can have in the state as long as we would adhere to it. And that's what we're driving to get done here. So at the end of the day, we want everybody to have a chance to rise. We want to make sure you understand your opportunities in the schools. We want to understand that you get good guidance. We want everybody in this state to be able to be born healthy, which is why we have new programs to attack the problem of infant mortality. We want to make sure that if you find yourself in a ditch, that we can help you to get out, but we're also going to ask you to be part of that solution. We all understand the complexities and problems of higher education escalating costs, and we have provisions in here that forces a very significant examination of all the cost drivers for our universities. If you have big student loan debts, we want to help you a little bit with that. We want you to get work because we've got a system now that's going to produce the kind of jobs that we want, and we can see that we've got the right trend going. Opportunity for everybody, responsibility for everybody is sort of the watchword here, in a way in which we take a 360 approach to try to address so many of the problems we have in a very complex society, and at the same time re-engineering programs so we actually have money left over to be able to put in the piggy bank should we hit a downtime. It's a sweeping budget, probably more issues and details in this than in any of the other budgets you've seen, and I've only scratched some of the surface of a number of the provisions that we have in this budget. So Tim, it's all yours.